We invite ourselves to just settle, allow everything to settle, thoughts, sensations. You don't need to do anything. Take a break from doing. Whatever arises, to welcome it. Welcoming is a non-doing. It's a recognition that nothing needs to be done. No need to try to change whatever thought may be appearing to you. Whatever feeling or sensation is arising. To give it its complete freedom. And, giving a thought or a sensation its freedom simply is a recognition that there is no one to resist and no need noticing the breath. The sensations throughout the body. A thought or a memory may arise. It arises effortlessly. And when you go to it, you will find that there is nowhere to go and nothing to go to. Everything that appears to you refers to your transparency. Whatever thought or sensation or perception arises to you, it arises to I. I being the vastness of awareness, the screen of awareness. Whatever appears to you refers to awareness. The I am, that is the transparency of being. What truly hears these words and what truly speaks these words refers to this transparency and is that transparency. Whenever you go to any object, whether it is a thought, a sensation, or a perception, you never leave yourself. It is not possible to leave yourself, to go towards anything, towards any object, towards any form. It is not possible to leave yourself. Wherever you go, it is I awareness, I presence. That does not come and go. Your personal problems are thoughts, images, and sensations that refer to the personal self-image, an impression, a mind impression, a sensation, a collection of thoughts and sensations that are labeled as myself. But in this moment of presence, when you look for this personal self, when you look for this bundle of thoughts, images, and sensations, you find the screen of awareness. Ever present. Your personal issues are like currents in the ocean. They're like movements of the wind in the wide open sky. The currents in the ocean do not define the ocean, do not cause the ocean to move. A thought or an image may arise that has a certain shape and form. It arises as this transparency, the transparency of being. When you go looking for the personal self, you go to thoughts, you go to images, you go to memories, you go to past and future images, thoughts that are arising in this moment within the screen of awareness, out of the screen of awareness, which does not travel to the past nor to the future. There is a narrative on the screen that refers to a story, the story that's unfolding over time, years and years of agony or years and years of pursuits, hopes, and disillusionment. No matter what narrative is scripted on the screen remains the screen, remains unscripted. I refers to the screen of awareness, the reality that perceives right now, the transparency of being, aware, presence, awareness does not belong to anybody. I recognize I am aware. I, awareness, recognize I am aware. Awareness recognizes awareness. directly, without going to a body, without going to images or thoughts or perceptions, to know that it knows. I know, I know, I know that I know directly. Knowingness knows it is knowing directly. I know, I know, I know that I know. I know the world, body, mind via the senses, and I know that I know directly. The immediacy and the intimacy of knowing. I know that I know because I am that knowingness. I am knowing. I is knowingness. The intimacy of self-knowledge that is not mediated by thoughts or perceptions or sensations. And via the senses, I know the oak tree in the yard. I know the oak tree in the yard intimately, in complete intimacy. I do not know the tree in the yard outside of myself. I know the tree in the yard as myself. I know a thought, an image via the mind. I know the image in complete intimacy, the intimacy of knowingness, the intimacy of knowing. I know the image, the thought, the memory as my very self, as myself. One could say I take on the form of a thought, but without ever becoming a form. Like in your night dreams, you take on the form of a bird without actually becoming a bird. Via the mind, in your night dream, you know birding, you know flying, birding, flying, without ever leaving yourself as the dreamer. Flying and the bird that you are arise within yourself, as yourself, in complete intimacy. We have never experienced anything outside of myself, of the self, outside of awareness. We've never known anything outside of I knowingness, I knowing presence, I aware presence. When you look for the imaginary character that you believe you are, or that you imagine others to be, you never leave yourself. You never leave the self. You never leave awareness. You find awareness, beingness, consciousness, awareness arising as this sensation, the sensation of a personal activity with thoughts and sensations. The process of thinking and feeling and sensing and emoting, which we refer to as seeking happiness via the means of thinking and feeling and sensing. We turn our attention via the senses outwardly, seeking inner happiness. We leave ourselves, supposedly, the illusion of separation to go out in the world, seeking inner peace and happiness. All along, by aware presence is unmoved and unstirred. You are not what you imagine to be. You are nothing that is imagined. Nothing that is limited. You are not something that appears to you. The body appears to you. Thoughts and sensations and perceptions appear to you. You are not anything that appears, and nothing that appears to you knows you. Only you know you. Only I know I. The body-mind does not know I. Thoughts, memories, images do not know I. They are appearances that depend on my knowingness. I do not depend on anything that appears to me for my own knowingness. I know myself directly. And this knowingness is God's mind. Being, universal being. So let's welcome your questions or comments, anything that you would like to share or explore. And see, maybe I can unmute. Unmute, yes. Yes. Or you can also, if you are muted, you can also unmute yourself. So, any questions?
My name is Sarah, and this is the first time I'm doing this.
Yes.
I have a question. So we are not our fear, but how do we separate ourselves from that for just a few moments to actually feel joy instead of the fear? Because I'm currently looking for a job, but I'm just scared all the time.
Yes. You know, the emotion of fear arises, this powerful emotion within the body. It arises as a powerful sensation, much more than just a thought. Of course, there is also thought associated with it, but above all, it is very much of a felt felt thing. It's very helpful when you are experiencing fear that you don't add to it. We add to the fear by struggling with it, by fighting against it, or by trying to ignore it, or depending on how powerful the emotion is. Sometimes we judge ourselves. So we're adding on to the fear additional thoughts and additional emotions. All emotions, I'm going to speak a little theoretically now, but it may be helpful, are made out of bodily sensations, which are sort of neutral. They have a neutral aspect to them. It can feel hot or cold or burning or sensation. Plus the me story. Oh my God, what's going to happen to me? Why is this happening to me? Why didn't they call me back? Oh, I filled the right application. When will I hear back from them, etc.? What's going to happen to me tomorrow? What if? And so the thinking that is taking place is referring to me as a person in time and space. What's going to happen to me tomorrow? It introduces time and the me as a character existing in time. So it's an emotion is a feeling, and is a sort of a strong feeling, and the feeling is, when you look at it closely, you will find it is bodily sensations plus mentation. Now, how is that helpful? If you look at the bodily sensation, even a toothache is a bodily sensation. It can be intense, or it can be just a sensation of your feet on the ground. All sensations, whether they are soft sensations, fuzzy sensations, or a little stronger sensations such as a toothache, they are neutral, they're impersonal. And they're calling our attention sometimes, like toothache is calling your attention to take care of that. And sometimes they're not calling our attention, like our sensation of our feet on the ground, very neutral. Sensation of hunger is calling our attention to prepare a meal. Irrespective of the sensation that is arising, it is neutral and impersonal. It is strictly an image on the screen. The image on the screen can be a pastel color image, or it could be a little bit more stronger oil painting. Irrespective of whether it's a pastel color image or oil painting, it's still a neutral image on the screen. It does not refer to any issue, any sense of danger. But when thought comes in and says, oh my God, this painting is a bad painting, it's a painting of fire, this fire is going to burn me, then we add on to a neutral sensation the sense of personal, there's something at stake for somebody. And then you are in the emotion, you're in the fear, you're in the envy, you're in the jealousy, you're in the anger, whatever. it's fear refers to someone. There is something that there is a sense of danger for someone. And when you just living the fear, you're not looking at what is this someone that is in danger, or there is something at stake for this person. But when you start contemplating, and best is to look at it, you can look at it it's difficult to look at it when there are strong emotions, but when there are like smaller emotions that allow you to look at what is this me that is in danger, for example, you will find images and thoughts, and of course sensations. You will not find an actual person. You will find images of a person, you will find a story, you will find some memories, and you will find some sensations, but you will not actually find a person. The thoughts, and the images, and the memories, and the sensations, they arise to I. I perceive the sensation. It's a little bit difficult when there is a strong emotion to notice that there is an I awareness, I consciousness, because the emotions may be too strong. They may not provide you an opportunity to take some space, to take step back from that. But in the smaller cases, when there is a little annoyance, somebody was supposed to call you at 2 and they didn't call you, they called you at 3. It's a little annoying because you were expecting their phone call. But the annoyance also refers to me, the person. This may provide an easier opportunity for you to look at what is this I that is experiencing the annoyance. And if in fact there is somebody at stake, there is somebody to whom things can affect, in other words, if in fact there is a person that is subject to some conditions, that person would be present right now, right here, right now. So if you look right now and try to, even if you can imagine this fear, try to bring the fear up, bring the situation that concerns you up. You will experience this sense of me being a person. Can you do that now, Sarah? Is that possible for you to evoke the sense of me, like somebody that is at some risk or at something's at stake for that person? Can you evoke that right now? Is that possible? Mm-hmm. Yes. So what are you experiencing right now? What is that? Can you speak to that which you're perceiving that is at stake, that is that person?
Well, it's a feeling like, I'm in an abyss and it's this deep, very deep, dark thing, and then I'm falling.
Okay.
And I have nothing to hold on to.
Okay. So is it presumptuous from me to say that you're experiencing some feeling? Can I say that, or it's too?
Yes, definitely.
So you're experiencing a feeling.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, that's good. So, and that feeling, is it possible for you to sort of turn your attention to your body right now, scan whichever way, whichever way suits you, to sort of get in touch with that feeling, see where that feeling is, if it's possible to locate it somewhere. Can you do that?
Yeah.
And what do you find?
It's at the bottom of in my abdomen.
In your abdomen. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you go to that sensation in your abdomen? Can you sort of turn your attention to it?
Mm-hmm.
And can you try to describe it to yourself, and together, if you can describe it
Out loud.
Yes, if you could.
Okay. It's kind of like sometimes it's like it's like a choking feeling, but then it's also, when it lets go, it's very wide, and it's like a deep ocean where you feel lost. You don't know what direction to go in.
Okay, let's go to that feeling of feeling lost. Okay, let's go to that, just particularly, to that sense of feeling lost. You don't know which direction. Can you go to that sensation of feeling lost?
Mm-hmm.
What can you describe that?
It's a feeling like it's like I'm grasping for air, or like I'm trying to stay above water. But I don't know, there's nothing for me to grab onto to save my life.
Yes. So can you sense that? Can you go to that sense, that feeling of that feeling? Can you go closer and closer to that feeling of not knowing where to grasp and sort of running out of air and not knowing which direction to go?
It's very scary, but yeah.
Yeah, we just exploring the sensation. I mean, nothing's going to happen because we're exploring the sensation. It's just it's a bodily sensation. So I mean, I don't mean to push you beyond your,
No, it's okay.
don't go there if you don't feel like it. I'm just saying that it's just an exercise of looking and exploring, what's the sensation that's happening. And I know it has a narrative, and that there is a charge to it, but at the same time, it's just going to a sensation, if possible. Sort of not forcing it, just, or even inviting it to show more of itself. You know what I mean? So like it's okay for that choking, that lost, that drowning sensation. It's okay to come where just at your own pace, come to me at your own pace, just to express yourself. You're okay to show yourself, and I'm here completely available to you, in a way, you see? So maybe the point that I wanted to make is that uh, the more we become friendly or familiar or inviting ourselves to welcome an experience and invite that and be with that, whichever way it wants to be. There is a certain shift in the experience. You see, I don't want to say theoretically, okay, well, it's just something appearing in awareness, a sensation appearing in awareness. There is an actual sort of a dynamic exploration that you can do of those emotions. Sometimes when it's very strong, you can't, and then it's okay. But you may find that with certain emotions, it's possible for you to scan the body and go to that sense where something or somebody is in danger, and just invite that sensation, that feeling, to welcome it to its complete freedom, let's say. And in this invitation, you are sort of expanding your welcoming arms. You're opening yourself up in a welcoming way, and you're inviting this bundle of compressed emotions to sort of relax and reveal itself to you. And in this revelation, you may notice that what seemed to be at stake was because there was this tightness around it, and in the invitation, you will find that there is not much at stake. Explore that, you know. Now, having said that, it may also be helpful to share with you that everything that you experience, even the scary things that you experience, you're never experiencing them as anything else but yourself as awareness. Right now, that you're perceiving this perception, you're sensing your breath, you're sensing your feet on the ground, you're sensing your belly. It is awareness, I awareness. You never leave that. It's always there. It's always there as yourself. It's not like always there like as an object or it's what I is. I is awareness. And if possible, I don't know, in some cases it is, you can turn your attention towards what is it that's experiencing that. And that's not being done in order to avoid the emotion. It's not at all for that purpose. It's just to come to clarity about what is, because anything that you're experiencing refers to I, to something that's experiencing it. As long as you don't know what is the I that is experiencing, you cannot fully know the experience. You need to know the I, because it is that is experiencing. The experience refers to the I that knows it. So then you can ask yourself, what is it that is experiencing this sensation or this emotion? And without going to thought, and go directly to the I. So I goes to I directly. In other words, you do not need to go to memory. You do not need to go to any experience that you had in order to come to clarity about what is it that right now is perceiving this sensation. You don't need to. You can go directly to the question, what is it that is experiencing this sensation? And when you ask this question, the mind comes to a stillness. Which is the stillness of awareness, the peace of awareness, the tranquility of awareness. What is it that is aware of this sensation? Like right now, you can ask, what is it that is aware of this perception, you see? without going to memory or something you read or something you heard on YouTube. It's just direct question from yourself to yourself. And just
So can you go over real quick when you say ask what is
it that is aware of my experience right now?
the self is aware? Is that a good answer?
Well,
Or something else?
yes, you could say it's a good answer. Yes, you could say the self, but we're looking at that question without attempting to look at this question without going to any memory, so that we get the non-abridged, non-edited version of the what is it that is aware right now? Yes, we do call it the self, but what is it that is aware of this perception right now?
Is the answer something physical, like
You are. Let's see. You have to look at the answer within yourself, you see. So you go directly to I am aware. Can you go to I am aware?
mm-hmm.
I am aware, yes?
Yeah.
I am aware of this perception, yes? Yes? And I'm aware that I am aware.
Yes.
Yes. So then what is it that is aware of this perception?
Awareness?
Yes.
Okay.
You just said I am aware, right? So what is it that is aware of this perception? It is I.
Mm-hmm.
I awareness. But let's look at it a little bit. What else besides awareness can be aware? Is it possible for something else than awareness to be aware? Something other than awareness to be aware?
I think at the beginning you said no.
It's not possible. Well, don't worry about what I'm saying. Just look at it yourself, you see. Is it possible for something other than awareness to be aware?
No.
It's not possible. Only awareness can be aware.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for anything than the sun to radiate the sunlight?
No.
No. Is it possible for anything else than the ocean to be to ocean? If there is a verb, to ocean. Is it possible for anything else than the ocean to ocean? No. So awareness, when the question, I ask myself the question, what is it that is aware in this moment? It is awareness that is aware. That's what we call I. We refer to I awareness, right? I am, when we say I am aware, yeah? I awareness, yes? So the I that is aware is awareness. And awareness is not like a female form or a male form or the form of a worm or the form of a tree or the form of a lake. Awareness is not an object. You follow? Yeah. Awareness via the senses can perceive an object, but awareness is not an object. That which perceives is not an object. I perceive the oak tree, but I am not the oak tree.
Right.
So I awareness perceive a sensation or a feeling or an emotion or a thought, yes. But I am not an emotion, I am not a feeling, I am not a thought, I am not an object. And whenever you ask yourself, anywhere, you could be at work, you could be in the bathroom taking a shower, you could be having dinner, you could be driving. Anytime, anywhere, you ask yourself, am I aware? You will always find, yes, I am aware. You follow? Yeah. Am I aware? Yes, I am aware. And you can ask also a question, am I? Just purely, am I? Yes, I am. What I am is a different question, but just, am I? Am I, and am I aware? You will always find, yes, I am aware. I am aware. What is it that is aware? Awareness is aware. Awareness is aware that I am aware. Irrespective of whether there is an emotion on the screen, irrespective of whether there is a certain situation on the screen, irrespective of whether you're on the highway driving or whether somebody cut you off in traffic, or whether you got a promotion or whether your application was denied, the I awareness is always there. The I am aware. Yes?
Yes.
I awareness, I'm aware. Now, you can take a piece of paper and cut it, or take scissors and cut it in pieces. You can take an axe and cut a tree. You can take a lake and drain it. You put big pumps and you drain the lake. You could light fire to a forest and burn it. Can you do any such thing to awareness?
No.
You can build a big house. You can destroy a big house with those big machines, the excavators, right? You can build a bridge and then you can destroy a bridge, a huge bridge. Can you do any of that to awareness?
No.
I awareness. I awareness. Yes?
Yeah.
Yes? You can take a human body, somebody can have an accident, lose an arm. Can awareness lose an arm?
No.
Can awareness get indigestion?
No.
I awareness. Yes? I awareness. Yes? So both the little exercise we did in scanning the body and also what we just talked about right now, you may find them helpful to you, in not just in relation to the emotion of fear, in relation to everything in your life.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Any questions?
Yes, this is George. Can you hear me?
Yes, George, I hear you well.
You just said that awareness, I think you said that awareness cannot be destroyed. And my question is, what about death?
Yes.
What happens when we die? What happens to awareness?
Yes, good question. So we can ask ourselves, what is it that dies? Or we can ask ourselves, what is our experience of death? Because we could ask, what is it that dies, and go into the encyclopedia and find 500 or go into the research publications and find 500 papers about death and what is it that dies, right?
Right.
But when we ask ourselves, what is our experience of death? That's a nice question, because you're going directly to your experience, right? Right?
Yes, but fortunately, I've never had that experience.
Aha, interesting, George. You jump right to it. So when we ask ourselves, what is the experience of death? Our answer, but please correct me if I'm wrong, anybody here, is zero experience of death. We have no experience of death, right? Right, George?
Right.
Right. So therefore, we're talking about something theoretical? Are we talking about something theoretical?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, we know that the body dies.
Well, what do you
brain
know?
dies.
What do you know? What do you know of the body dying? Tell me. I'm talking about your experience. I'm not talking about.
Well, no, I have no experience of my body dying.
You just
I
said,
do know about other bodies dying.
but you just said, I know about body dying. What do you know about the body dying? In fact, you don't know anything about the body dying directly.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
You've seen birds dying. You've seen deer dying on the road. You've seen somebody, human body dying. You've seen that.
Right.
But you don't know anything about that.
Right.
In terms of your experience.
Right.
Right. Okay. So that's an important thing for you to see clearly for yourself. Important thing to see. Now, in terms of body dying, let us, before we go into the death of the body, we have to ask ourselves, what is the body? Because we're talking about the death of the body, right, George?
Right.
Okay, so we need to first, before we jump to the death of the body, we need to also look at what are we talking about when we say the body, right? Are you on board?
Yes, I'm on board. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So then we look at what is our experience of the body. See, I always go to our experience, because I don't want to do like theoretical body die, body dies means the heart stops or the brain, blah, blah. No, talking about first, what is the body in our experience? So what is the body in your experience, George?
In my experience, the body is something that I can see. I can look at my body.
Okay, so
It also, in my experience, it also is a source of feeling. I seem to experience emotions in my body.
Okay.
And I can feel pain in my body.
Okay, I'm going to slow you down. So first you said the body is perception. I can perceive my hand, so it's a perception, right?
Right.
Perception or perceptions, right? And
Right.
then you mentioned sensations, right? Right. And what else? Anything else?
No.
Images.
Of course. I'm sorry.
And images, right?
Yeah. I say yes.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So our experience of the body is perceptions, sensations, and images, right?
Right.
So we could say that the body is, let's say, a bundle of perceptions, sensations, and images. And we experience them. We experience the body frame by frame. Like right now, I look at my hand, then I turn and look at my foot. So frame by frame, I'm experiencing. But if I put them all together, it's a bundle of perceptions, sensations, and mentations. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now we're talking about the death of perceptions, sensations, and mentations. Yes?
Yes.
But they're dying. But they're dying every second, every minute. You're having a different thought, different perception, different sensation.
Yes, you're right. I mean, I asked that question seriously, and now I see the humor in it. Yes.
Right. No, I'm answering the question seriously.
No, you are. I appreciate that. Yes.
Because you see, I am not interested in myth. I'm not interested in myth. I'm interested in direct experience. I'm interested in truth, in the reality of our experience. I'm not interested in the content of thought. The content of thought is infinite, George. Especially if you add on the night dreams. Oh my goodness, it is infinite. So we're looking at what is the body. So the body is a bundle of perceptions, sensations, and meditations. And in fact, they're changing every second. I can't even say every second. That's even too long of a time.
Right. Yes.
So, in terms of your question about does consciousness die, that's a very interesting question. You could say, now shifting a little bit the conversation, you could say that death, or what we're referring to conceptually as death, refers to what we refer to as form, a form being thoughts, sensations, and perceptions. But consciousness is not a thought, is not a sensation, is not a perception. By consciousness, we're referring to the I awareness, the reality that perceives. I perceive the oak tree, but I am not made out of wood, I'm not made out of leaves, and I am not the oak tree. I perceive the oak tree. So I perceive thoughts, sensations, and perceptions. Consciousnness, awareness. By the way, George, I use those two words, consciousness and awareness, synonymously. Okay, just
Yeah.
so so we are clear about. Sometimes I say consciousness, sometimes I say awareness. I mean them synonymously. So awareness, consciousness. I perceive thoughts, sensations, and perceptions, meaning I perceive death, because we talked about death as being the constant changing quality of sensations, perceptions, and meditations, right? A minute ago.
Yes, right.
Yes. So I perceive death, but I do not die. That which if you perceive an oak tree falling down in the forest, or if you perceive, I don't know, a deer being hit by a car, you do not die. You, meaning I, consciousness, do not die. So I perceive death, but I do not die. So what happens to consciousness with death? Nothing. Nothing. Thoughts, sensations, perceptions are constantly dying. Consciousness is eternal and infinite. The impressions of time, you see, death refers to a beginning and an ending. Just spinning it a different direction, George. So death refers to time, yes, a beginning and an ending, right?
Right.
Right. Now, the impression of time, meaning thoughts, because without thought, there is no time.
Right.
If you do not remember breakfast, if there isn't a thought of breakfast or an image of breakfast, there wouldn't be time, right?
Yes, right.
Right. So time appears as thought, and it appears within consciousness as consciousness, but consciousness does not appear in time. Whatever appears in time dies. For example, a thought appears in time. An oak tree appears in time. You come 10 years ago, this oak tree was 2 foot long. 10 years later, the oak tree is 100 foot long. The oak tree is appearing in time. You follow me, George?
Yes, I'm with you. Yes, yes.
Thoughts is appearing in time. But I consciousness, that which perceives, the reality that perceives, does not appear in time. Time appears within it. Thoughts and perceptions and sensations appear within it. So let me give you a metaphor. When you are asleep at home and you dream of many friends getting together for dinner, and during the dinner, one of the persons has a heart attack and dies. And you wake up. Did any part of you die?
No, of course not.
Did you die?
No,
In fact,
nobody died.
nobody died.
Right.
Or one could say, as a conversation, that a person in your dream died, and upon waking up, you found out that everybody died.
Right, because the dream ended. Yes.
And in fact, you come to realize that, yes, as we started a minute ago, you said it yourself, nobody died. Because there was really nobody, in fact.
Right, yes.
It's using that as a metaphor, as I, the dreamer that's dreaming all these dreams, is consciousness that perceives all the perceptions. Via my dream characters, I experience all sorts of experiences. I experienced that I fly, I experienced that I had a good dinner, I experienced that I met a beautiful friend and we went together to the theater, whatever. Right? So
Right. Maybe you experienced some real hot sex, right?
in some cases, yes.
Well, those are my dreams anyway.
It doesn't hurt when we need it. So via the dream characters, which are arising out of ourself as ourself, we experience all sorts of experiences, but in fact nothing is happening at the dreamer level. But at the dream character level, all sorts of things seem to be happening. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and one last thing about death, okay? About your question about death. I wrote a post about that not too long ago, I think in my Facebook page, that life, what the reality of life, not what we think life is, not what we imagine life to be, the reality of life, whatever that is that we call life, has to be real. Because if we're not talking about something real, we'll just be sitting, smoking a big one, and talking about, pink flying elephants. But that's not what we're doing. We're interested in reality. So we're speaking about life. There has to be whatever is real, we call life. What is real does not die. You're with me, George?
Yes, and the notion of reality is a bit vague to me.
All right. Let me clarify that, because you said it's vague. Now, when you are dreaming at night, dreaming something, or your dream, the content of your dream mind is a dream mind, right?
Right. No reality there.
But in fact, that it is a dream mind, there is a reality that's perceiving it. It's not nothing. You follow, George?
Right. You're saying the dream. Yes, you're making a distinction between the dream and the dreamer, of course. Yes.
Yes, I'm saying although the content of the dream and the characters in the dream may be just smoke, there is a reality that is perceiving this smoke.
Reality is perceiving this, yes, okay.
Right. So reality, when I say reality, I'm not talking about a concept, oh, reality, you know, some lofty concept. I am referring to in this very moment, even though this entire perception that we're having right now may be a dream perception, because we may be dreaming this dream. We may be asleep on some distant galaxy, dreaming this dream, yes?
Possibly, yes.
Yes, but although it is possible, 1 in a trillion possibility that, or maybe 1 in a 20, whatever, that this is a content of our dream, there is still a reality that's perceiving.
Yes, it's perceiving.
Nothing. So that's what I mean by reality, George. By reality, I'm referring to whatever it is that perceives this perception right now.
Okay, good. I got it now. Okay.
So coming back to the last comment I was making about life. If we're talking about life, then we're talking about the reality. Because we're not interested in myth. Whatever it is that is real, which we call life, or we call God, or we call truth, or we call whatever, consciousness, reality does not die. It would be an oxymoron to say reality dies. You follow?
Yes, I follow. It's not, yes, I do follow. It's funny how my mind is kind of, yes, you're right, I follow. It's almost like I follow, but I follow reluctantly.
Okay, well, that's okay. Sometimes it's like that. But ponder about what I just shared with you, George. A few different ways of looking at it that if you put them together, you may get an answer to your question.
Yes, yeah, I appreciate it. What I see now is what you said earlier about the existence of time. Time only exists as a concept, and
within thought. It is thought.
Within thought, yes. As time exists within thought. No thought, no time.
Yes. So time is the way awareness knows via thought. Awareness knows time, while the reality, the real time of awareness is eternity. Let me see if I can put it a different way. The eternity of awareness, meaning no time, the eternity of awareness via thought is experienced as time.
Okay, yes. But yes, I understand that now. And the word eternity, the word eternity doesn't really mean infinite time. It really means no time.
Right, you got it.
Yes, okay. I think that's the key point which I have to keep in mind.
Key point, that's a key point. That's the eternity of God's eternity. And God's infinity via perception appears as a space.
Yes. Yeah, so there's a notion of space-time.
Yes.
Einstein studied very carefully.
Mentation and perception. Mentation, thought, and perception.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, Trust. Thank you. Any other question?
Ivy,
Yes?
do you hear me well?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Emanuel,
Emmanuel, hola Emmanuel, ¿cómo está?
bien, ¿y tú?
Bien, bien, gracias. Tranquilo. Sí, ok, hola, sí, sí, Emmanuel.
Hi.
Hello.
I'd like to go a little bit further with the question from Sarah about fear.
Yes, yes.
And it's like, how can this teaching really be applied like in extreme emotional states? You know, like, I mean, you know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
like
yes, yes, Emmanuel, yes, yes.
when you are feeling like really
Yes.
depressed and when
Yes.
you are having
Yes.
suicidal feelings, or when you are experiencing a panic attack,
Yeah,
when you are really
powerful
like
emotions.
this
Yeah.
emotional tsunamis. I mean, I understand the teaching and I have some insights, and I have some intuitions about this.
Yes, yes.
But I feel that I I can go into this into the teaching when the mind is relatively quiet, you know. But when the storm is happening, it's like
Yes.
I don't find any answer, any help, you know,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah.
I just can't wait for it to pass, and that's it. So I don't know.
Yes, yes, Emmanuel. I don't know if I didn't maybe speak enough about it when I was talking with Sarah. That when the sensation goes to a feeling, you know, you have some room for contemplation. You have some room to examine, to do two things. One of them is the Atma Vichara, like asking yourself, you know, what is it that is perceiving this feeling, and also, you know, the path of love, which is to go to the body, go to the emotion, go to the feeling, and explore the feeling. So that applies at the sensation level and at the feeling level. But when it comes to an emotion is is more like a racehorse. You know, you know, there are horses that are just galloping, but it's more of a feeling on steroids. Yes, I mean I'm exaggerating, but as a way of speaking. So when it comes to the emotion, this is not the best opportunity that is available to you to contemplate either what is it that is aware, or to go to complete invitation of the sensation and the scanning and opening yourself to the invitation. I would say that you have to take advantage of the smaller irritations in your life. You know, being irritated by traffic, being irritated by, I don't have enough money right now, you know, to buy this or that, or being irritated by, oh my God, she said she was going to call me, she didn't call me. You know, little stuff. You know, I'm not talking about depression or strong emotions of fear or strong emotions of anger or jealousy. That, in those cases, you just hope you survive. So
Yeah,
I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. I'm sort of,
that's
you know,
for
laughing
me.
at myself. You know, not at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this you need to take advantage of the other opportunities, Emmanuel. There are many other opportunities that are available to you, smaller irritations.
Yeah.
And also moments where there isn't any irritation, moments where you just everything seems to be okay, you're feeling relatively okay, and then you ask yourself, well, what is it that is aware of being okay? What is it that is aware that it's a beautiful day, and you go to, am I aware? What is the I that is aware? You go to awareness. Awareness is aware, you see? So it's not just about, using these methods to get rid of your emotions. It's not that way. The practice, when the practice of the piano is at times, like for example, you're a pianist. Every day, everything's okay. You go play a little bit for an hour, for half hour. You play the solfege. You practice, some sonatas or whatever. Yeah. And you will find, Emmanuel, that as you are taking advantage of the moments of peace or the moments of smaller irritation, that it is these opportunities, they are important opportunities that provide you both the tools to deal with the emotion and also the tools that make the emotion less intense. You will find that the emotions that in the past used to have a certain intensity will be arising with a lesser intensity and also a lesser frequency.
But sometimes it just doesn't work like that. It's not like a line, and that's what I wrote to you one of these days. Like the deeper I go, like into meditation or into the past and into inquiring, it's like it seems like the emotional stuff becomes more intense and stronger, and even I've been experiencing things that I never experienced before, like real depression or like suicidal thoughts. So
I would say that this, what you're referring to as your meditation, is not what, I don't know what is this meditation that you're doing. If you're doing a certain practice or certain meditation that is leading you into even deeper into the pit of emotions, I would be really wary about doing this sort of practice.
just any technique, any particular technique, just like being aware of being aware, or just
You see,
like
you just use the word technique. Okay, so and because you use the word technique, I would say that this is not, you don't want to go any further in that direction, because whatever technique you are using is going to be reinforcing the personal self, because I used the technique because I needed to protect me and to reinforce me, to safeguard me. So that's, if you're approaching meditation or whatever, being aware as a technique, I would not do that. I would not recommend that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not using any specific technique. What I do when I say meditation, like formal sitting, but I try to keep meditating all day long. Is more like intuitive approach to go deep and
well, who is it that's doing that?
yeah, I don't know.
You just got into meditation right now. That's meditation right there. When you asked that question and you stopped, you stopped and you looked and you came to I don't know, that was meditation right there.
There is like a perceiving, you know, like just like being. No, it's not, it's difficult to describe because I mean it's not an activity that I'm doing. The mind comes and like hey a lot, but
Well, when the mind,
more like relaxing, more like really not doing.
you see,
Yeah.
you have to be watchful, Emmanuel, that there isn't behind all of that, even resting, that there isn't sort of hidden maybe under the rug a personal, it's going to be good for me, somebody behind the scene.
Yeah, well, that maybe I don't know. It could be.
It's a good direction to look into.
But I am open to look at it and see if that is happening. Of course, it can be tricky. But yes, I mean, I'm saying this because the other day I was just like sitting, you know, like really just feeling or observing or trying to be aware or whatever is more like intuitive. And then this panic attack just started from nowhere. And I thought, or okay, this is coming, okay, allow it, you know, just feel it, don't resist it. And then it's like, boom, 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 boom. It became like so powerful and so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
I mean, you're talking about a panic attack. You know, panic attack is a very strong emotion. You're just surviving it. You know, hopefully, that's what a panic attack is. A very strong emotion. So I am not recommending that you practice anything or you do anything during a panic attack, because panic attack is the powerful energetics, and probably best is sort of, especially if it's recurring, regularly, is to sort of do your best at just
I do.
realizing that it will soon enough pass, and bear it. But the conversation I was having with Sarah earlier about how to deal with emotions is to do the contemplation and the inquiry, not during an emotion, but when there are feelings or when there are just a piece of being.
Okay. Yeah, because I've heard you or even Rupert saying like the tantric approach, going into the experience without resisting it, and I say, okay, if this is going to kill me, okay, come on and kill me, or something like that. So I don't. Yeah.
If by the way, since you're bringing it up, Emmanuel, if it is possible for you during an emotion to do the tantric approach of completely embracing whatever is arising, if it is possible for you, then okay, yeah, sure, let it kill you. Because you know what, Emmanuel, what you truly are cannot be killed. And oops, Tara, the deer are here. Excuse me, I'll be right there. the deer come to the garden and they eat the flowers, so I had to chase it.
Did you invited to get in your house and
You
have a dinner?
invited, right? For a dinner, right? Okay, Maria. So, what I was saying is that life cannot be killed, and only thing that dies is the illusion, the belief, and in time the sensation that I am this person, that I am immortal body mind, that I am born, that I am a man person, and that sooner or later needs to die.
Okay.
And it dies upon your recognition that I refers to awareness, and that this awareness is not personal, it is universal. It is not contained within the body. The body mind appears to it, but it is not an appearance. And that to allow and invite this understanding to permeate your entire feeling state and to live, perceive and think and act based upon that understanding.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Manuel.
See you around.
Okay, well, everybody, thank you very much. Very lovely to be with you, Maria and George and Sarah, Holly. Hello, Holly, Zoe, and Rashmi. Namaste.
Thank you, Magdi.
Okay, thank you all. Very lovely. Okay, listen. Goodbye.